Hi, I'm Natalie, an Adult Services Librarian for Durham County Library. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a great summer salad based on Kenji Lopez Alt's recipe using grilled corn, tomatoes, feta cheese, and fresh herbs. If you're new to growing your own herbs, remember when you trim to always trim the stem, flip right above the new set of leaves growing out. So I cut right, there were new leaves budding right there, and I trimmed right above those. So if I were to trim here, I would cut right about there. And then these new leaves will be able to grow. So trim right above the new growth. Another tip for growing your own herbs is to not plant mint in with the rest of your plants. It tends to be a little invasive and take over, so I keep mine in its own pot. Our recipe calls for about 2 pounds of ripe tomatoes, 4 ears of sweet corn. I'm using 5 just because I have an extra. And then a 1/4 cup each of fresh parsley, basil, and mint. Just for my personal taste, I'm going a little lighter on the mint and a little heavier on the basil. I've also got about 8 ounces of crumbled feta cheese. You can also use block feta, just cut it up. And then we're going to mix a dressing that is 3 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. But first, we're going to prep our corn. So the recipe actually calls for grilled corn, but unfortunately it's raining today. So instead, I'm going to be showing you how to char the corn in a cast iron skillet. If I was going to be grilling my corn outside, I would go ahead and grill the ears whole and then cut the kernels off of the cob. But since I'm going to be cooking mine inside, I'm going to go ahead and cut the kernels off first. And I'm going to be doing that in a large bowl rather than a cutting board just to catch everything and make sure I don't get corn all over my kitchen. While I finish up the corn, I've got about a tablespoon of vegetable oil heating up in my skillet. So I'm gonna let that sit for about 3 minutes to try and get some color on the bottom of the corn. And I'm gonna go ahead and season with salt and pepper. If you have a favorite seasoning that you'd like to add, you can go ahead and throw that in there as well. I threw in a little cayenne pepper too. Give it a stir every few minutes to get all those good charred bits. It should take about 8 minutes total for it all to cook through. All done. While that's finishing up, I'm going to chop my tomatoes. Okay, all of my tomatoes are diced. And my corn is cooling, and now I'm going to get all of my herbs off of their stems and give them a rough chop. You can chop them up as fine as you like. Enjoy this part, it smells amazing. Okay. Now I'm going to whisk up my dressing. So I've got 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of olive oil and about a tablespoon of lemon juice. Let it whisk. Now everything's ready to combine. Okay, my corn has cooled down, so I'm mixing it into my chopped tomatoes. Now I'm going to add my herbs. Feta cheese. Now during the summer you can find all kinds of varieties of tomatoes, especially really great locally grown ones, but if you can find some good heirloom tomatoes, they're great for this recipe. If you're having a hard time finding the ingredients or it's the wrong time of year, you can use really any kind, even like grape or cherry tomatoes. You can even use frozen corn. I would just thaw it out and still cook it in a pan just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. Okay, and now the dressing. Scrape all of that out. And you can mix this with your hands. Be very gentle with it. You just kind of want to fold it together. Now because I used pre-crumbled feta, it sort of blends in with all the other ingredients, but if you chop your own block feta, you'll have nicer big pieces. A little bit more salt and pepper. And you can just give it a taste to see if it's seasoned enough. All right. I hope you enjoy making and eating this really simple but delicious salad. It really focuses on fresh ingredients and it's great for this time of year. I'm going to serve mine with a grilled fish, but it's a great side dish for all kinds of meals. Thanks for watching, and remember to check the library's website, our Facebook and YouTube pages for more videos.